Remember, guys, there's good news for Anheuser Busch out there. Their sales report, oh man, we totally beat our expectations and all that stuff. What could possibly be going wrong right now? Well, they're selling off additional brands. Not just one, not two, not even three, eight. 8 different brands are getting tossed to the wayside. They're getting sold off to a pot company. Holy man. Normally, the purpose of a marketing campaign is to encourage sales, is to raise awareness of a brand in order to inspire some new purchases from new customer bases, especially for Anheuser Busch, which under its umbrella it had a couple of dozen different large brands: Budweiser, Bud Light, Rolling Rock, Busch, Stella Artois. Like, it has an entire host, an entire catalog, but that catalog ultimately ended up shrinking due to the world's most spectacular disastrous marketing campaign. Tilray acquires 8 beer brands from struggling Bud Light parent Anheuser Busch. Here's what that means for both companies. Break it down, market insiders, for us. Tilray Brands, publicly traded under TLRY, a cannabis and consumer packaged goods company. Fantastic, just melding together some of the more detrimental businesses for human consumption, now bringing alcohol under the fold to just make sure that all of your sedative needs are taken care of by Tilray Brands. Announced it has entered into a definite agreement to acquire 8 beer and beverage brands from Anheuser Busch. The acquisition places Tilray Brands as the 5th largest craft beer business in the United States, up from 9th. Those are some pretty big leaps. In view of Bud Light's recent controversy, yes, of course, the parent company, Anheuser-Busch, seems to be delighted with the new situation. Of course, because that's the first time in a long time that they're actually going to be getting a sizable injection of cash. Bud Light sparked an anti-trans backlash. It's so funny the way that these mainstream papers still want to go ahead and mischaracterize the situation. When it announced its collaboration, did they announce it, or was that Dylan Mulvaney just going, "Hi, I like the sports ball, and look at this fancy can that I bought"? And Bud Light drinkers are like, "I don't really like that fancy can. You know, you can keep your fucking beer and go to hell." The hoopla surrounding Bud Light's impact sales of a normally top-selling beer, putting pressure on the parent company shares. Tilray brand reached out to us early this year with interest. Early this year. I wonder if that happened to coincide with, I don't know, second quarter. Probably reached out. It's like, "Hi, it's May 1st. We're just calling to see if you're looking at, shedding a couple of additional brands. We're in the market. We're just doing some light shopping, kicking some tires, seeing what you guys are up to, But yes, they reached out earlier this year with interest in purchasing these brands and breweries. And since then, they've had many positive HIV, I hope, conversations that led to today's announcement, said Andy Thomas, president, the high end at Anheuser Busch. Talented people behind these brands and breweries, along with our significant investments in them over the years, have positioned them for a bright future with Tilray Brands. It's so wonderful. These brands had such a bright future that we were just so happy to get rid of them. I would just wonder if that was the case, if the Dylan Mulvaney partnership was successful. I'm just wondering. We are committed to working with Tilray Brands over the coming months to ensure that there's no getbacks. They signed at the bottom. You can go ahead and take them because we don't want them back. We are committed to working with Tilray over the next coming months to ensure that this smooth transition, just like the rest of the loggers under our umbrella, for the people who are working every day to get these amazing beers and beverages to consumers across the United States. You know how many happy employees that work at these 8 different companies, which we'll run down the list here. None of them look all that familiar, to be completely honest, but still, anybody who bears that badge on their paycheck is going, "Yes! Not going to get fired," because we're under new management. Because we still haven't seen the frontline layoffs, and if there was 300 executives that Anheuser-Busch was putting on ice, that given enough time when the third quarter sparks up and when there's, fewer spots on the shelves, because, that's just another picture, one of many that we've seen over this summer, that just shows that ain't nobody drinking Bud Light anymore. Nobody's drinking Budweiser. Coors, Miller, that stuff's flying off the shelf, but anything with an Anheuser-Busch logo on it, it's keeping all of those shelves stable, keeping them all safe just in case a tornado wipes through. All of those shelves that normally house Coors Light, at least when they're in stock, they'll be gone, but those Bud Lights, they'll be there. They're looking after the consumer and the store owner, after all. They're the good people in this. So yeah, now Tilray's side of this equation. Today's announcement both solidifies our national leadership position and share in the U.S. craft brewing market and marks a major step forward in our diversification strategy. We are excited to work with teams behind these iconic brands that command great consumer loyalty and have a history of delivering strong, award-winning products with tremendous growth opportunities. Which is just code for, yeah, we bought some stuff on the downswing. Hopefully we can do something with it. Otherwise, we'll just flip it in another 6 to 8 months. Whatever, man. Said Tilray Chairman and CEO Irwin D. Simon. Color me surprised. Tilray is fully committed to invest and champion the future of the U.S. craft beer industry by fueling new innovation that excites and further accelerates the growth of its consumer base. It's very funny. It's very funny because the way that Tilray Brands wanted to snatch up these 8 companies, oh, we're craft beer, and, you know, that's where all the hipsters want to go. It's kind of funny because that's what Alyssa Heinerscheid, at least in that stupid, well, now infamous interview, said that we were looking for a new market, Bud Light is dying, blah, 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 all that crap. She was trying to hone in on these markets, but these guys are out here. They know their consumer bases. They know their audience. So they're maneuvering within the new brands that they just acquired. Very interesting. It's almost like she was ill fit for her job. It's almost like diversity is not our strength, and in fact is the worst hiring policy imaginable. Just saying. So, upon satisfaction of customary closing conditions, Tilray will acquire Shock Top, Breckenridge Brewery. I think I've probably heard of Shock Top and Breckenridge, but the rest of these don't really seem to be all that familiar, but that's all right. Your mileage may vary. The Blue Point Brewing Company, 10 Barrel Brewing Company, Red Hook Brewing Company, Weidmer Brothers Brewing, and Square Mile Cider Company. Oh, and also Highball Energy. Cool. Tilray Brands also owns Breckenridge Distillery, the award-winning spirits brand and the world's best blended whiskey, and Happy Flower CBD sparkling non-alcoholic cocktails. Okay, so pot-flavored drinks? Gross. I don't know, if you're fucking weed junkie, I don't know, maybe you just can't go a minute without tasting pot all the time. Ugh, fucking hippies. The transaction includes current employees, breweries, and brew pubs, okay, associated with these brands. The purchase price will be paid in all cash. Yeah, because Anheuser's like, we need money right now because we said that we're going to be covering costs for a lot of people throughout the end of the year. So if you got cash up front, that'd be great. And the transaction is expected to close in 2023. So yeah, a little bit more specificity on the deal and the filing with the U.S. Oh, so okay. The deal already went through the SEC. Tilray puts the purchase price at $85 million to be paid in cash. So 8 brands. So that works out to what? Just a, shade over $10 million per. Interesting. Cannabis company says the agreement will triple both the basket of the brands and the beer sales volume. Okay, expected to increase 12 million cases per year for 4 million. Interesting. Oh, and I didn't even know this. It looks like this Tilray Brands is Canadian based. Well, that kind of sucks. A deal between, yes, the Leamington, Ontario-based Tilray and Missouri-based beer giant Anheuser Busch expected to close at the end of the year. And then, of course, all the breweries that are down there as well. Anheuser Busch was probably wondering, it's like, okay, cool. Well, if you need somebody to, help you offload all of those brands, we got this little wafy dude that, is just really hard up for work right now. And the asking price, to book a gig is $40,000 per. But you know what? Hey, man, if you can find any change between the couch cushions and maybe a llama for her to pose with, you can, hey man, go ahead and put her to work for a little while. If you guys need the help or something like that. It worked wonders for our company. It's just incredibly funny. Every single day there seems to be something incredibly stupid, or at least hilarious, that ends up happening with Anheuser-Busch. Some days it's funny, other days it's historically terrible for them, but regardless, this is a story that just will not quit. So with all that said, thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I've been Don Consuelo. I want you to follow your gut and get after it. Take care, everyone.